Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. The day she had always dreamed of had finally arrived. Emily Carter, radiant in her white dress, waited for her fiancé, Alex Monroe, at the end of the flower-lined aisle. Every detail had been meticulously prepared, the flowers, the music, the prestigious guests, everything seemed perfect. But when Alex appeared, an embarrassed smile on his face, Emily felt her heart break. In a low voice, he whispered, I can't do it. I'm sorry." Silence fell over the church. The guests exchanged confused glances, some whispering theories, but Emily saw only pure and simple betrayal. The world around her crumbled. She felt tears welling up, but instead of giving in to despair, a cold resolve took root in her heart. In the shadows, her bodyguard, Marcus Blackwood, watched her. For years, he had watched over her, discreet, efficient, and always ready to protect her. Marcus wasn't just a bodyguard. Behind his dark glasses and mysterious demeanor, he hid an identity few knew, that of a powerful CEO, master of an empire Emily could never have imagined. As Emily left the aisle, the whispers and glances of the guests followed her, but Marcus approached her. His hand rested on hers with quiet assurance. In that simple gesture, Emily felt a security she had never felt with Alex. And on that day, in a twist no one could have foreseen, Emily and Marcus exchanged a knowing glance, and forged a bond that would change their lives and the lives of everyone around them forever. The marriage she had envisioned with Alex was shattered, but a new, unexpected, and passionate destiny began with Marcus, the loyal protector who had become so much more. Emily Carter had never felt so humiliated in her entire life. The church was still filled with elegantly dressed guests, all eager to celebrate what was supposed to be the happiest day of her life. And yet, in less than a minute, everything had changed. Alex Monroe, her fiancé, had stepped back, unable to meet her gaze. I can't do it." The words echoed in her head like hammer blows. But why, now? Emily thought, her heart aching. Tears welled up, but she forcefully held them back. She wasn't going to show Alex the depths of the pain he had just inflicted. As she walked away, the icy silence of the guests weighed heavily on her. A few hushed murmurs circulated, but Emily heard nothing. She saw nothing. Her world had just shattered. It was at that moment that Marcus Blackwood took a step forward. His expression was calm, impenetrable, but his eyes shone with worry and determination. For several years, he had watched over Emily, discreet but always present. His role as bodyguard was not limited to physical protection, he had been the silent witness to her joys, her sorrows, and her hopes. "Emily," he said softly, his voice resonating with quiet confidence. "Don't let this guy make you lose your temper. Come with me." Emily hesitated, but something in Marcus's tone inspired confidence. She took his hand, and the touch was like a balm on her wounds. Everything she had imagined with Alex had just vanished, but she felt Marcus would be there to guide her through this chaos. They left the church quickly, avoiding curious glances and malicious whispers. Outside, the fresh air eased the lingering sting of shame. Marcus led her to a discreetly parked black car. The silence between them wasn't awkward, it was reassuring. Deep down, Emily understood that this bodyguard had always been more than just a protector. As they walked away from the scene of the betrayal, Emily felt a thrill of excitement and curiosity. The day she thought would be the worst of her life had just become the beginning of something new. Something dangerous, mysterious, and perhaps, unexpected. Because Marcus Blackwood wasn't just her bodyguard. He had secrets she could never have imagined, and his role in Emily's life would soon surpass anything she had ever known. Emily got into the black car, still reeling from Alex's betrayal. She didn't know whether to cry, scream, or simply disappear. Marcus, sitting beside her, remained calm, his gaze fixed on the road, but Emily sensed he had an aura of absolute control over the situation. Why did he do this to me?" she finally murmured. Marcus took a deep breath before replying. Some people aren't worthy of what they have. You deserve better than Alex, and you know it. Emily nodded, but her mind was still too muddled to reply. As they drove through the city, she noticed the furtive glances of passers-by through the car's tinted windows. She felt as if the whole world had witnessed her humiliation. They soon arrived at a luxurious but discreet apartment. Marcus invited her in, and Emily was struck by the understated elegance of the place. "Where are we?" she asked, curious. "At my place." Marcus replied with an enigmatic smile. "Well, not exactly, but you'll see." Once settled in the living room, Emily noticed several screens and a state-of-the-art phone on the desk. The place looked more like a control center than a simple apartment. Marcus sat down next to her and took a deep breath. "Emily, there's something you need to know." She looked at him, intrigued and slightly worried. Marcus took off his sunglasses and, for the first time, revealed his true identity. "I'm not just your bodyguard," he said calmly. "I'm Marcus Blackwood, CEO of Blackwood Industries. An empire few know about, and one I prefer to keep secret." Emily was speechless. She had always known Marcus had a mysterious past, but she never would have imagined this. Her loyal protector was actually a powerful, influential, and incredibly intelligent man. "Why hide this from me?" asked Emily, still in shock. Marcus smiled slightly. "To protect you, and to let you decide if you want to enter this world." At that moment, Emily understood that Alex's betrayal was merely the catalyst. Her life had just been plunged into a world she had never imagined: danger, power, and perhaps, romance. And deep down, she felt that Marcus would not only be her protector in the future. He would become so much more. A few days had passed since the wedding fiasco. Emily had returned home, but nothing was as she had imagined. Every object, every memory seemed to mock her, reminding her of what Alex had taken from her. Then, one evening, an unexpected message appeared on her phone. "Emily, I want to talk to you. Now." "Alex." Her heart sank, but this time she didn't panic. Instead, she picked up her phone and sent Marcus a message: "Alex wants to see me." A few minutes later, Marcus was by her side, calm and attentive as always. "Let me handle this," he said simply. The next day, Emily found herself in a quiet cafe, Alex sitting opposite her, awkwardly trying to smile. "Emily. I made a mistake," he began. But Emily, with a calm she hadn't known she possessed, stopped him with a wave of her hand. "Alex, you chose to betray me in front of everyone. I don't want your apologies." Her voice was firm, but she could feel that every word was tinged with pain. Alex seemed bewildered, unable to respond. Emily then realized that her life had changed, and that she no longer needed someone like him to feel complete. That evening, as she walked home with Marcus, a strange feeling washed over her. Every time he was near her, she felt a reassuring warmth and a security she had never experienced with Alex. And something deeper, more intimate, was beginning to blossom between them. Marcus sat down next to her, gently placing a hand on hers. "Emily. I know it's fast, and none of this is easy, but I'm here. And I always will be." Emily looked up at him, her heart pounding. In that single glance, she understood that this catastrophic day wasn't the end of her story, but the beginning of a new life. A life where she could choose love, loyalty, and passion, with someone who would never break her heart. And as she drew closer to Marcus, she knew deep down that their destinies had just become irrevocably intertwined. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of intense emotions for Emily. Alex's betrayal still hung in the air, but every moment spent with Marcus made her feel alive in a way she'd never known before. It was no longer just about protection, it was a deep, complex, and irresistible connection. One evening, Marcus invited her to dinner in one of his private apartments on the top floor of Blackwood Tower, a discreet yet luxurious skyscraper in the heart of the city. As they ascended, Emily felt her heart beat faster. She had always known that Marcus led a mysterious life, but discovering this world set her imagination running wild. The penthouse was sumptuous, a panoramic view of the illuminated city, modern but warm furnishings, and an intimate atmosphere that contrasted with the cold and calculated exterior of a CEO's life. "It's incredible," murmured Emily, impressed but also slightly intimidated. Marcus smiled. "Welcome to my world. But it's not just about luxury or power, it's also a place where I can be myself, without a mask." During dinner, Marcus shared aspects of his professional and personal life with her, but always cautiously. Emily began to understand the magnitude of the man behind the bodyguard, a brilliant, strategic, and incredibly respected leader in business, but one who had chosen to remain in the shadows to protect those who mattered to him. As the evening progressed, their conversation became more intimate. Marcus spoke to her about his fears, his responsibilities, and his desire to build something real. Emily, touched, gave in to her feelings, realizing that what she felt for him was not just gratitude or admiration, but something much more powerful, love. As they stood up to leave the table, Marcus gently placed his hand on her cheek. "Emily, I can't promise you that everything will be easy. But I can promise you that I will never betray you." Emily felt a wave of emotion wash over her. She moved closer to him, their eyes meeting with a burning intensity. In that suspended moment, she knew her life had just taken a new turn. With Marcus, she had found not only a protector and an ally, but a partner capable of making her feel whole, respected, and loved like never before. And in the silence of the night, atop Blackwood Tower, Emily realized that what had begun as betrayal and humiliation was turning into a story of passion, power, and inevitable destiny. A few weeks later, Emily felt stronger and more confident. Alex's betrayal was now a thing of the past, and her relationship with Marcus was growing deeper every day. But the outside world was never far away. Alex, unable to accept his defeat, attempted one last confrontation. He found her one afternoon in front of one of the cafes she frequented regularly. "Emily, I beg you, listen to me," he cried, desperate. Emily calmly raised her eyes, a slight smile on her lips. Beside her, Marcus appeared, imposing and serene, a protective presence that dissuaded Alex from any impulsive action. "Alex," Emily said confidently, "it's over. You betrayed me when I needed you most. I deserve better, and I've found it." Marcus stepped forward slightly, placing his hand on Emily's arm. "And I will never let you hurt her again." His voice was firm, full of calm and power, but also tenderness for Emily. Alex stepped back, stunned. For the first time, he saw Emily as she had become, strong, confident, and surrounded by a man who would never be an obstacle but always a pillar. After Alex's humiliating departure, Emily and Marcus walked side by side through the park. The sun was beginning to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Marcus gazed at her intently. "Emily," he said softly, "I hid a part of my life from you to protect you. But now, I want you to be a part of everything I am." Emily felt her heart clench with emotion. "I want this, with you." As they walked away together, Emily realized that the day when everything seemed lost had actually opened the door to a life she never dared imagine. Alex's betrayal hadn't been the end, but the beginning of her true happiness. Marcus, her protector, her ally, and now, her love, gently took her hand. The future, unknown but promising, lay before them. And for the first time in a long time, Emily felt completely free, loved, and invincible.